The Inner Flame. Welcome to the Chanukah and Parshas Miketz perspective. The Chanukah perspective is in loving memory of Edward Ben Efraim, Shlomo Ben Edward, and Yirachmiel Daniel Ben Gedalia. May their souls be uplifted and may their memories be a blessing. This Chanukah perspective is dedicated in honor of the victims of the massacre on Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. Jews gathered to celebrate the first night of Chanukah were gunned down in pure hatred, sanctifying God's holy name with the ultimate sacrifice. And their death were not in vain. Even now, their sacrifice is igniting a cascade of light across the world, strengthening our faith in our resolve in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God, may He avenge their blood and bring comfort to their families, to their friends, and to the Sydney Jewish community. May He grant healing and strength to the injured, and may their recovery be complete, and may God hasten the revelation of the ultimate light with the coming of Moshiach. Chanukah, the festival of light, arrives at a moment of deep contrast. It recalls the miracles, it recalls the resilience and the quiet courage required to bring light into places of darkness. And this week, as we light the menorah, we also read the story of Yosef HaTzadik, a life shaped by betrayal, endurance, and the unseen purpose slowly unfolding. And together, Chanukah and Parshas Miketz speak of faith that survives generations, and of light that emerges not despite the darkness, but from within it. Our Torah portion opens with Pare disturbed by a pair of unsettling dreams. He sees 7 healthy cows swallowed by 7 skinny ones, and 7 full stalks of grain being consumed by 7 thin stalks of grain, and those images lingered with him, and none of his advisors could uncover their meaning. In desperation, Pare summons Yosef from prison, a man known for wisdom and faith forged through hardship. Yosef listens carefully and then responds with clarity. He explains that these dreams were with one message repeated twice, a divine warning of 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of devastating famine. And more than an interpretation, Yosef offers responsibility. He urges Pare to build and prepare during the years of plenty, storing food so that life could endure during the years of scarcity. And recognizing that this insight comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from God, Pare elevates Yosef to the viceroy of Egypt, entrusting him with the survival of Egypt and the rest of the world. At the same time, Chanukah tells us the story of the Maccabees, a small band of brothers, a small band of priests who rose against the vast Greek Empire to preserve their faith and restore holiness to the Beis Mikdash. And their victory was not only a military one, but a spiritual victory. It was a triumph of conviction over force. And the light of the menorah reminds us that even a single spark, when rooted in faith, can illuminate the deepest darkness. Like Yosef, the Maccabees stood against overwhelming odds. And through unwavering commitment to Hashem, to God, they revealed that light doesn't disappear in exile. It only waits to be uncovered. Their story continues to inspire because it teaches us that true strength is not loud, it's not forceful, but it is born in faith that refuses to surrender. Our Parsha describes a moment filled with deep tension when Yosef finally encounters his brothers in Egypt. The Pasuk tells us, Vayakar Yosef es Echav v'heim lo hikiru. Yosef recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. The contrast is deliberate. Yosef was not seeking clothing, titles, or power. He was searching for souls. And even after many years of betrayal, exile, and separation, he never stopped looking for his brothers. And he waited for them and recognized them the moment they stood before him, while they could only see the ruler of Egypt standing before their eyes. The brothers were seeing something very different. They stood before the viceroy of Egypt and could not imagine in their wildest dreams that this figure of authority could possibly be their brother. And their eyes were drawn to power, to position, to appearance. They were looking, but not deeply. They saw status instead of identity. They saw authority instead of essence. Yosef recognized them because he was attentive to who they truly were. They failed to recognize him because they were distracted by what he appeared to be. Chanukah carries this same challenge of recognition. The flames of the menorah are not meant to be used or harnessed, but simply to be seen. In the prayer we recite after lighting the menorah, Haniras Halalu, we declare that we are not permitted to benefit from them, only to look at them, to recognize them for what they are. Their flickering reflects the soul itself, alive, unsettled, reaching upwards towards its source. The light does not demand attention, it invites it. It asks us to slow down, to watch carefully, to become sensitive to the godliness present within ordinary moments. And this recognition requires stillness. When we move too fast, even light can pass through our eyes unnoticed. The danger is not always darkness. Often it's distraction, the inability to pause long enough to see what was already shining before us. When we truly see the flame, we begin to recognize something deeper than wick and oil. We begin to recognize our own role of carrying light into this world that struggles to find its way. And that sensitivity is tested in the most painful way when light is attacked in its purest form. In Australia, on the first night of Chanukah, Jews were murdered simply for being who they are, and they sanctified God's holy name with their lives. A moment meant for illumination was met with hatred, and the fragility of life was laid bare. And in the face of such evil, Chanukah demands a conscious response. Not retreat, not silence, but the decision to continue lighting. To continue to choosing goodness even when the odds feel overwhelming. We say each day of Chanukah that God places the mighty in the hands of the weak, the impure in the hands of the pure, the wicked in the hands of the righteous, and those who rebel in the hands of those who remain faithful to the Torah. And those words are not only memory of past miracles, they are responsibility placed upon us today. Light has always advanced through those who are willing to protect it, even when doing so comes at a cost. And the response to darkness is not despair, it is presence. Remaining visible, remaining faithful, remaining anchored, guarding that small eternal flame that refuses to go out. So let this Chanukah bring clarity to our mission and illumination to our path. Let it give us the courage to protect the small dancing flame both within ourselves and within the world around us. And may the souls lost in Australia be elevated through the light that they inspired. May their memory strengthen our resolve to remain unbroken in spirit and steadfast in our faith. And may this light hasten the day where darkness is fully dispelled and when the world is filled with a revealed awareness of God. And when that unbroken connection is sanctified with the coming of Moshiach. There's a profound quote that I once read. The greatest danger is not that darkness exists, but that people grow accustomed to living without the light. Have a great weekend, a good Shabbos, and a meaningful Chanukah.
Via la